One of the many benefits I have over on my Substack page is that every week during the regular season, I'm answering questions from my subscribers. I always have a blast answering those questions every week, and it makes Mondays that much better. Something new I'm going to be adding this year is that in addition to those mailbag articles, I'm actually going to be posting videos where I answer those questions as well. Now that I have a YouTube channel, I figured it's just more content that I can provide to you guys. So starting today and running every week through the rest of the year, I'm going to be posting a mailbag video where I answer questions from my paid Substack subscribers. I haven't really talked about it that much in my videos, but in case you're new here, make sure you guys go over and subscribe to my Substack page. After getting laid off from my job a couple years ago, I've been pretty much posting all my Dodgers content over there. For less than $5 a month, you have access to all my Dodgers articles, including a number of great benefits, including this today. In addition to that, one of the more popular benefits is a Twitter group chat filled with me and lots of other Dodgers fans. During the season, I also host Zoom calls with me and all those other fans as well. It's a really solid community that I've built with myself and my Substack subscribers, and I would love for you to join. Again, it's less than $5 a month, which is probably the amount you spend on a cup of coffee or a double-double at In-N-Out. This is a much healthier alternative, and it really helps support me. I do Substack and YouTube full-time, and the more subscribers I'm able to build, the more sustainable this is actually going to be. So if you want to support me and my channel and get access to a lot of great Dodgers content, you guys can head over to my Substack and subscribe today. I'm also going to be having a pretty big giveaway once the Dodgers season kicks off that's going to be exclusively for my paid subscribers. So there's just a little more incentive for you guys to go subscribe today. Alright, enough of the promotion, let's get to today's mailbag. We're far from 2025, but thinking about our rotation makes me wonder who gets squeezed out. The only non-question marks are Yamamoto, Glasnow, and Miller. But what do you think our rotation looks like next year between Ohtani, Kershaw, Sheehan, Grove, Gonsolin, May, and other young guys? So thinking about the 2025 rotation is really a lot of fun. I think as of right now, you actually have 4 guarantees with Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow, and Bobby Miller. I know Clayton Kershaw has a player option for 2025, but we'll worry about that next off season. I know Tony Gonsolin's expected to come back in 2025, but that's still a long ways away, so we'll wait and see how that goes. I know Dustin May is expected to return at some point in 2024, but I just have a hard time believing he's a long-term solution to be in the starting rotation. You then look at Emmett Sheehan, who's probably going to get a lot of starts this season, but he's still unproven, so you don't really want to pencil him in just yet either. If you guys have been following me and all the rumors that have been going on Twitter over the last couple of months, you would know that I am all in on Roki Sasaki. He's considered to be one of the best pitchers on the planet, and there's a chance he gets posted and comes over to the States next year. And if that's the case, I really hope the Dodgers do everything they can to sign him. I mean, just imagine if you have a rotation featuring Ohtani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Glasnow, Bobby Miller, and then whoever your 6th option is. With Ohtani joining the rotation next year, I think the Dodgers move to a 6-man. They may or may not, we'll have to wait and see, but if that's the case, that 5-man rotation is already by far the best in baseball, and you're probably adding a really solid option as your 6th man. Again, I know that's a long ways off, but 2025's rotation has a chance to be insanely good. Barring any injuries to the Dodgers rotation, when Kershaw returns, where does he slot into the rotation? Is there a possibility they expand it to a 6-man rotation to give every pitcher extended rest? That's actually a great question, because as things currently look right now, the Dodgers rotation is low-key pretty stacked. I mean, obviously there are going to be injuries that happen throughout the season. I don't know if everyone's going to be healthy at the exact same time, but let's just say somehow everyone is healthy. You're going to have Yamamoto, Glasnow, Bobby Miller, Walker Buehler, James Paxton, Clayton Kershaw, maybe Emmett Sheehan if he really develops in 2024. I mean, right there you have 6 to 7 high-quality arms for your starting rotation. I don't know how the Dodgers are going to make it work, but I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes an official 6-man rotation, because out of all those guys, I don't really know who you're pushing to the bullpen. Again, they might not have to worry about this because this is all depending on everyone being healthy, which, as we've seen in baseball, is asking for a lot. But if somehow all those starters are healthy, well, I guess the Dodgers have a really good problem on their hands. With all the pitching the Dodgers have acquired this offseason, how do you think all that pitching talent will shake out on the farm in 24 and 25? Seems like there's a lot of trade bait there. Yeah, despite the Dodgers being completely stacked at the major league level, the talent that they have in the minors is actually pretty insane. I mean, Emmett Sheehan might not even be starting the season in the starting rotation. You then have guys like Kyle Hurt and River Ryan, 2 guys that are viewed as top 100 prospects. Speaking of River Ryan, he actually actually was named today by Fangraphs as one of the best starting pitching prospects in all of baseball. The Dodgers also have a number of guys in AAA and AA that are probably going to be making an impact at some point this season as well. I don't know if the Dodgers are necessarily going to use any of them as trade bait, just because I don't really see what their biggest need is as of right now. Maybe by the trade deadline, the Dodgers are going to have a glaring need somewhere, and they use a lot of these top prospects to acquire a really good piece, but as of right now, I think the Dodgers are just going to keep all these guys in their farm system and continue to develop them. Because even if just a couple of these guys pan out with the Dodgers in a couple of years, I mean, this reign of dominance is just going to continue. When are you planning a trip up to Fresno to attend my tailgate and get a true Bulldog fan tailgate experience? Let me just say this for all those out there that are watching, my man Eddie here knows how to throw a tailgate. A couple of years ago when Fresno State played at SoFi Stadium in the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, he invited me to hit up his Fresno State tailgate, and I must say, that's one of the better tailgates I've ever experienced in my life. Fresno State fans, they know how to get it done. Now, I don't know when I'm going to be able to make it up to Fresno, but if my Arizona State Sun Devils are playing up there, I might have to make it up. And I'm definitely going to have to get in on this tailgate there, because I definitely need another Fresno State tailgate in my life. Is it crazy that I'm especially worried about fans being priced out this season, despite having the largest stadium in baseball and hosting 81 home games this season? Yeah, that's actually a really valid question, and this is something I've talked to my girlfriend about, I've talked to my friends and family about, but I don't understand how just the casual family of 4 or 5 is able to afford a Dodgers game anymore. I mean, if you've looked at ticket prices on StubHub or the secondary market, they're actually freaking insane. I mean, it seems like even if you want to go to a Tuesday game that's not a giveaway, they're playing the Colorado Rockies, it seems like after fees, the cheapest ticket is like 50, 60 bucks, something like that. You throw in parking being like 40 bucks, food and drinks, all that kind of stuff, maybe some merchandise. You're talking about a really, really expensive night, and that's just for one baseball game. The crazy thing is, despite all these prices, Dodger Stadium is probably going to have their highest attendance that they've ever had in team history, which is absolutely freaking insane. So every night, there's going to be 50,000 plus fans there that are paying those prices to see this team play. I mean, it does suck for the casual fan who may not be able to afford prices, but again, I don't think it's going to make that much of an impact because there's still going to be 50,000 plus people there every single game. Ryan Brazier looked real good with the Dodgers, as you mentioned. Do you think they look to do closer by committee, or do they give the job to someone specific like Brazier or Evan Phillips? I think the Dodgers are probably going to go down the same route that they took last year, and that's essentially go closer by committee. Now, if I were to guess, I think Evan Phillips is probably going to be their go-to guy for the 9th. He's probably going to be the guy that leads the Dodgers in saves in 2024. But I don't think he's going to be the designated closer like Kenley Jansen was for all those years. I still think Evan Phillips has more value being that fireman role where you can bring him in for the 7th, 8th, or the 9th inning. So I think that's the direction the Dodgers are going to ultimately go in, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Evan Phillips does lead the Dodgers in saves this year, and he gets a higher percentage of chances. But the Dodgers do have a great problem in that they have so many players that have 9th inning experience. I mean, they do have Evan Phillips, they have Blake Trinan, they have Joe Kelly, Bruce Dark-Gratterall, Ryan Brazier, Daniel Hudson if he's able to make it back, so they have plenty of guys where I don't think it matters what inning it is. They're going to be lockdown guys. It's just a matter of who's going to get more save opportunities in 2024. All right, time for our final question. I have 2. Will we get Kike back? Please say yes. And thoughts on Manuel Margo? Feel like he's nowhere. Yeah, so first off on Kike Hernandez, I really wish he'd be able to come back to the Dodgers. I think he's a great guy to have in the clubhouse. I mean, he has one of the bigger personalities in all of baseball, but I don't think there's any room for him right now. As things currently stand, it looks like the Dodgers already have their 13 position players set. So unfortunately, I don't see any way that the Dodgers bring back Kike unless there's like a major injury or two, or the Dodgers make a trade or a DFA or something like that. But yeah, it looks like Kike might have to come back for part 3, maybe at the trade deadline or at some point next year. And I do like this next part about Manuel Margo. I feel like this guy is the most forgotten player on the entire Dodgers team. He was acquired in the Tyler Glasnow trade, but it seems like a lot of people have just completely forgotten about him. Now, he's not going to be an everyday guy. He's going to be more of a bench piece that gets the occasional starts every now and then, but I really do like the potential with Manuel Margo. I did an article on my Substack page after the trade where I went more in depth on Manuel Margo, and there's actually a lot to like. So for some reason, Manuel Margo was really, really good away from Tropicana Field these last 2 seasons. In 2022, he had 287 297 with a 119 WRC+, and in 2023, he hit 303 with a 111 WRC+. So yeah, for some reason when he was at the Trop, I guess he just wasn't seeing the ball well, and it was really hurting his numbers. Once he got out of the Trop and was playing on the road, he was an above average hitter. I mean, this guy hit over 300 last year away from his home park. That's not supposed to be normal. Oh, and not to mention, he also mashes against lefties as well. In 2021, he had a 111 WRC+ against lefties. Then in 2022, he had 346 with a 159 WRC+. Last year, his numbers did take a bit of a hit as he had only an 84 WRC+, but he still hit 277 against lefties. So you have a guy that has crushed lefties over the last couple of years, and he's been really good when he's not playing a Tropicana field. So you add those two together as a bench piece, I'm really excited to see what we get from Manuel Margo in 2024. I think it also helps that everyone's expectations are so low, he's probably only going to surpass the low expectations that we have. Well, that wraps it up for today's Q&A. Again, I'm going to be answering questions all season long from my Substack subscribers. If you guys would like to support me, this channel, and all of my work, you guys can become subscribers for less than $5 a month. I know it doesn't seem like that much, like $5 a month, how's that going to support him? But if a lot of you were to subscribe, that number would add up really quickly, and I'd be able to post even more Dodgers content as I'm allowed to do this full time. Like I mentioned, you can ask me questions every week in a mailbag, but you get a lot more than that. During the regular season, I'm going to be writing a lot of great Dodgers content, so you'll have access to all of my articles over there. You'll also be added to one of the biggest Dodgers Twitter group chats there is. It's a great community that I've built over there, and I'd love to add even more Dodgers fans. There's also going to be monthly Zoom calls with me and my subscribers, giveaways, and a whole lot more. Like I mentioned as well, there's going to be a pretty awesome giveaway once the season starts, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. And again, it's less than $5 a month, and it allows me to continue to do this full time. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting a lot of great Dodgers content here all season long, so if you're a Dodgers fan, this is definitely the place for you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video.